if you change that belief into money comes to me, abundance is everywhere and opportunity is everywhere, what happens is you actually start seeing opportunities in your life that you didn't see before. You start making connections that were there. They were there before, but you didn't perceive them. And not only that, you stop sabotaging yourself in your day-to-day activities and in how you deal with your own finances.
There are opportunities for our work and careers everywhere, if you know where to look. That's easier said than done, especially in our fast-paced and constantly changing world. Marianne Fairmouth is talking to experts, employers, and job seekers to bring you insight and understanding about what's possible. This is Career Can Do, where we're navigating the new work world.
Welcome to the Career Can Do podcast, a top global podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the new work world. My name is Marianne Fairmouth. I'll be your host for this episode. And today I am just delighted to have a guest on my show that I have the highest admiration and regard for. Daniel Hall is a USA Today and Wall Street Journal best-selling author, investor, speaker, publisher, nurse, attorney, and YouTuber. He is the creator of the highly popular Real Fast brand of training products. And I want to have him on the show today because as an executive recruiter, my job is to obviously advise people about the new work world. And then again, I'm trying to help people better their lives, get a better paying job. But once you do that, then what? And Daniel has written a fabulous book called The Money Mindset Makeover, Transforming Your Finances from the Inside Out. And I think this book is coming out at a time that is just so fabulous because I think all of us are looking at a mindset in our lives about different things. And I think money is one of them that maybe is at the top of the list here. So after that incredibly long introduction, without further ado, help me welcome Daniel Hall. Daniel, say hello to everybody.
Hello there. Hello, Marianne. And hello, everyone listening.
Well, we're thrilled to have you on the show. And Daniel and I go back several years. I've always thought the world of him. But Daniel, can you share with our listeners what motivated you to write The Money Mindset Makeover, Transforming Your Finances from the Inside Out? Tell us about that.
Well, I saw a huge need for it mostly. And when I reflect on my own life and my own progress financially, I really saw that I needed this information that is really presented in the book. And I wished I would have had it years and years ago. That's what brought me to I need to get this information to the market.
Well, I think that was a brilliant idea. In the book, I've reviewed the book. It's an amazing book. You talk about changing our relationship with money. Can you elaborate what that means exactly?
Absolutely. A lot of people have ingrained learned responses to money, to resources. And many people come from a perspective of scarcity. There's scarce resources, there's not enough. And the fact of the matter is that almost without knowing, we are programmed to think that money is hard to come by, that we don't deserve money. And that is just completely false. That is a belief. My own experience showed me that our own behaviors, our own thoughts and patterns of living are at a foundational level based on our beliefs. Therefore, if we could change our beliefs, we could change the rest of our lives. And the really great thing is that you have the choice to believe something. In other words, you want to adopt beliefs that benefit you rather than those beliefs that don't benefit you. That's the basis of what we go into in the book.
That's exactly right on. And one of my favorite famous inventors is Henry Ford. And Henry Ford said, Daniel, if you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Yeah, either way.
pretty much what you're saying is exactly that. How do you believe that changing our mindset is more effective in creating lasting change compared to other financial strategies?
The root, in other words, in my own case, and what I actually see out in the world, people will try to implement strategies in their financial life, basically spin their wheels. They'll really give it a good college try, yet they don't seem to progress. They don't seem to have any progress. And a big part of that is they don't believe that they deserve to have success or to attain financial freedom. That's one of the reasons why I decided start at the very, very foundational level. Start at the belief. Start at what you believe this world can provide for you. That's one of the reasons why I think that if you start from the foundation, start from your belief structure, you can really go much further, much faster with a belief or a series of beliefs that actually serve you instead of the opposite of that.
I agree with you. I think it all has to start with our mindset. I've been a recruiter for a long time, over 35 years. And I think even post COVID, we're even looking more at mindset. I think COVID made us stop in our tracks in a lot of ways and reevaluate our lives. Without giving the farm away here, give us some tips about how transforming a person's mindset can attract wealth into a person's life. How do they do that?
This is a great question. And one of the interesting things that starts to happen when you do change your beliefs, and when I say change your beliefs, I'm talking about if you ever said to yourself, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. How many of us have thought that or even have said that? Well, that's a belief. Okay. That's a belief that's rooted in scarcity. The really interesting thing is that if you change that belief into money comes to me, abundance is everywhere and opportunity is everywhere, what happens is you actually start seeing opportunities in your life that you didn't see before. You start making connections that were there. They were there before, but you didn't perceive them. And not only that, you stop sabotaging yourself in your day-to-day activities and in how you deal with your own finances. So if you change sort of the series of core beliefs, then all these things, it's like fertilizing a garden. You start really see things start to grow and blossom in this now garden because you've made the soil fertile, to take that analogy.
As a recruiter, I see people coming into me, Daniel, that don't have exact experience, but they have transferable skills. And if they change their mindset and go into an interview and say, look, I don't have every single thing you want, but let me tell you what I do here. I have the ability to come in here with the context I have and bring something to you. I have the ability to do homework on my own to become a quick study. I think when people go in, I see it anyway, and they interview like that, they're more likely to get the job than someone that's got 10 years that goes in and says, I'm wonderful, you need to hire me. So I think it all starts with mindset. But give us some examples of success stories, maybe of people that have used your system and how you did turn them around.
Well, the prime example, number one, is myself. I started life as a person that didn't really think a whole lot of myself. I had learning disabilities and dyslexia, had a speech impediment. I didn't do very well in school. I didn't really develop the social graces until much, much later on. And the really interesting thing is like many people, and I suspect many people in your audience, the first thing that I learned was how to actually make money. So I went through college late. I went through law school late, in other words, later in life. And I sort of figured out a lot of things along the way. But the really cool thing is that when I was able to sort of learn how to make money, I thought, oh, my problems are solved. I've now created a skill set and a way of doing business that I can make a lot of money. Great. The thing is that just because I learned how to make a lot of money doesn't mean that solves your financial woes or your way of living. Then the next step kind of comes into being, and that is to become financially literate. and then to know what to do with the money when it comes in. So it's really kind of a two-step process. And to go back to your question, many people have started way behind the eight ball with lots of disadvantages that really kind of transcended those early experiences in their lives to develop empires, really, and become very, very financially successful. And a couple names that come to mind, of course, is folks like Oprah, very much like that, very disadvantaged. And again, learn to make the money and then become financially literate. And many others. The Paul Mitchell, I can't remember his name, but he's another guy, very, very disadvantaged. The lady that started Spanx, that is another person, very, very disadvantaged, but they transcended, they went beyond and built upon sort of a new reality for themselves in spite of their past. That's really what this book does. It tries to meet the reader wherever they are and help them to transform how they think about money so that they could see the immense opportunity that's everywhere, really, and how they can then take that opportunity and use it in their own lives, to sort of use those opportunities as a springboard to parlay one opportunity to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, until you've really built a very sound, very stable financial future.
Well, I think that's wonderful. And I think this is a unique book because a lot of books like this will tell you they start at a certain place, like way up here, but your book meets the person where they are. And it all starts with your mindset. We can have the right mindset, law of attraction, but then we got to put action behind it. We got to decide what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And this book, I think, takes you by the hand and helps you go on that journey, which in my opinion, I mean, I've read a lot of financial books, but I haven't read a financial book like this. That's really an important resource for people to know about. And I'm thrilled to have you on the show, Daniel, to let our listeners know about that, because I'm seeing people that have lost their jobs during COVID, people that are trying to better their lives and get another job. It's a mindset they have to start with, really, to become successful. And if you can pick up a book that's going to help you get to a place where you get the right mindset, but then it gives you the steps to go further. Wow, what a gift. If somebody wants to get a hold of this book or visit with you more, how do they do that? Do you have a website they can go through to get to you? Or how did somebody contact you to get more information about this?
They could actually go to danielhallwebinars.com/MMM, okay, for Money Mindset Makeover, MMM, danielhallwebinars.com/MMM, and actually go get this book and pay what you want. You could actually get it for free. That's no problem at all. Although I will say that when you go to danielhallwebinars.com/MMM, that you do pay something for the book. That's not for me. I don't need the money, but for you, because the fact of the matter is that we as humans, we really only value those things that we pay for. The fact of the matter is that I also realize the vast majority of people that download this book for free, and I've had literally hundreds of people do it, they'll download it for free. They won't value it. They'll never crack it open, and therefore they'll never get any benefit from the book. And those people that will throw $5 or $10 or $20 at the book, they will value it because they've ponied up cash, and they will value it and therefore have a much higher likelihood or probability that they'll actually crack the PDF open and start reading and instituting what is in the book. So that's at danielhallwebinars.com/MMM, where they can get it for free, pay what you want, either way. That's the
Okay.
best way to reach out.
I'm just thinking, how can a reader, how can they sustain their new money mindset over time and through various financial challenges? As a recruiter for so many years, Daniel, I'm seeing so many challenges, not only in our work world, but just overall. So somebody reads this book, how do you suggest they sustain this new mindset? How do they keep it positive, even through all the trials and tribulations they might be going through?
Yeah, there's no doubt. It is definitely a challenge to maintain a positive money mindset, especially in challenging economic times that we seem to be in right now. But again, that's also a belief. Are we in challenging economic times, or there are statistics that you could look at right now that say that we actually live in the best time in the entire history of this planet with the resources and the abundance that is everywhere. So again, that's a decision that you make. But to answer your question specifically, it does require, yes, an iota, a kernel of discipline to be watchful of your own mind. This is really almost a spiritual and mental quest. And this is one of the things that we work on within the book, because your mind will wander. You will go back to old patterns. But again, this is a journey. It's one of the things you're always sort of working on. And if you come at it from that perspective, that I'm always going to be working on this slowly over time, even though you will backslide sometimes, you will get better and better and better and better. That's really the great thing about this. The other really interesting thing, Marianne, is if you will do this, you will start to see changes in your reality. You'll recognize them and realize, oh, wow, this is new. Maybe I should continue to do what I have been doing. And that helps you to build momentum and keep going. And when you do hit a rough patch, now you've had past successes that you could rely on. And you think, let me just push on through this. Let me just go on through it and continue, even though I am faced with this challenge. That's really the thing. It's consistency. It's being present and mindful of your thoughts right now, the ones you're having right this second, not in the past, not in the future, but right now. And those will sustain you forward. If, again, you're mindful.
I think that's great. My sweet father, God bless him, he only had an eighth grade education, but he was one of the smartest men I knew. And he always would say, when I'd come up against a challenge, I said, "Oh my goodness, Dad, this is so tough." He'd say, "Congratulations." You know what? He said, "You're going to grow. You're going to learn from it. You're going to grow. And the only one that's going to hold you back from this is you. You got to change the way you think about it, and you're going to move forward." That's pretty much what you're saying. It's so much on mindset, anything in life. And I think this book had multi-dimensional, good information in here, because you change your mindset in one area and you see a ripple effect. Okay.
Exactly.
It just comes kind of like that water that flows. Daniel, I think you've given our listeners so much great information, but I always like to leave them with two salient points that they can take with them and help them become their best self. What would those 2 points be?
The very first one, this is a really super important one that applies to every part of your life, including your financial life. And that is, as a human, we have the power to decide how we are going to perceive things that are appearing in our life. Okay. So if you have that power to decide, is this a good thing for me? Like you've just framed, is this a challenge that I could learn from? It is much better to see the challenge as something that could help you to grow, to help you to get to the next step. That's the first thing, that you have that power. The power is yours, your own power to decide how you perceive things. The second thing that I want folks to understand is that there is so much opportunity out there everywhere. It is everywhere. It's like putting on a pair of contact lenses. We both wear glasses. So if we put on contact lenses or we put on our new glasses, and now we can see things that we weren't able to see before. Those things are opportunities that really fit within our lives, fit within our skill sets, and then taking those and actually exercising out, implementing those, and then parlaying those good experiences to the next success, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You've heard a vicious cycle. I call this a delicious cycle, because when you take that approach, really good things start to happen. They get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's a beautiful thing.
I've just been thrilled to have Daniel Hall on Career Can Do. I think he's given our listeners invaluable information. If you want to pick up this fabulous book, Money Mindset Makeover, It'll be on my website, all the information. And then Daniel's already filled one more time where this can go.
DanielHallWebinars.com/MMM.
All right. This is Career Can Do. I'm Marianne Fairmouth. We're thrilled to have you with us today, Daniel. We'll see you all next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you. We thank you for tuning in to our Career Can Do podcast. We make no guarantees on results for your particular quest, but we hope you enjoy the information presented. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely that of the guest or speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Marianne Fairmouth and Fairmouth and Company. Thank you.